The snow fell relentlessly outside the Stanton family home, casting the street in an eerie, muted white glow. Their neighborhood, lined with cheery holiday lights, felt unusually still under the weight of the storm. The houses were nearly identical, cookie-cutter perfection with wide lawns buried beneath heaps of snow, but tonight even the colorful lights seemed weaker, swallowed by the oppressive darkness. Inside, the air was heavy with pine and cinnamon, as Elaine Stanton adjusted an ornament on their overly decorated tree for the third time that evening. She told herself she was simply nervous about the upcoming party, but her hands shook ever so slightly, betraying a deeper unease. Her husband, Mark, noticed but said nothing, choosing instead to tinker with the train set beneath the tree, his jaw tight with thought. Upstairs, their daughter Lily sat cross-legged by her frosted bedroom window, staring into the front yard where faint hoofprints had started to appear in the freshly fallen snow. A soft thud echoed far off in the night, sharp but deliberate, punctuating the silence. The sound came again, closer, and Elaine instinctively looked toward the front door as if expecting someone. Mark frowned, rising to peer through the peephole, his breath fogging the frosted glass. Nothing was there, but he lingered, his forehead pressed to the door as another heavy thud reverberated outside. Lily's voice drifted down the stairs, small and uncertain, asking if they could hear the sounds too. Mark told her to stay put, though his own conviction faltered. There was a growing tension, an electric vibrancy in the air, like a pressure building behind a storm. Elaine's heart began to race, filling her ears with the sound of her pulse as she whispered that maybe it was just a tree branch breaking under the weight of the snow. But where would the hoofprints have come from, she wondered silently, banishing the thought before it could take hold. Lily's voice appeared again, softer this time, saying she could see something now. Nothing more, just that. Mark finally opened the door, letting cold air rush violently into the house. The front steps and the yard beyond them were transformed. The spotless snow from moments earlier was now torn apart, chaotically stamped with hoofprints deep enough to reveal the soil beneath. The prints formed no discernible path, almost as though whatever left them had spun wildly in place. Mark stared into the emptiness of the street, his body rigid, though he swore he detected faint shapes moving near the neighbors' hedges. Elaine pulled her robe tightly around herself, stepping out behind him, her slippers crunching in the snow. She clenched her jaw at the sight. A broken yard decoration lay in pieces by their mailbox, a doe figurine that had been part of their festive reindeer display. Only it wasn't just broken, it was shattered. Something red, too vivid to be paint, stained the white plastic as if intentionally smeared. Mark muttered to himself, a phrase about pranksters or wind, something to explain what they didn't understand. Elaine felt her skin crawl as she looked closer and realized chunks of earth were scattered through the snow, as though something had been digging. Hours later, the family locked the door and decided to turn in for the night, uneasy but resigned. Silence returned, punctuated only by the distant whispers of the storm outside. Elaine lay awake, tense under the duvet, her ears tuned to every sound. She couldn't help but feel there was something deeper than pranksters or wind at play. Lily's voice cut through the stillness again, soft and strangely unbothered this time. Something about how she was seeing reindeer now, running through the snow, graceful and endless. Elaine turned to wake Mark, but he was already sitting upright, staring blankly at the darkened hallway leading to Lily's room. The house felt freezing, colder than it should be, and yet a sweat broke out on Elaine's back as she heard the rhythmic sound of heavy hooves shuffling up the creaking staircase. It wasn't just a sound now. She could feel the vibration of it, in her chest, in her teeth. Before either parent moved, a new sound joined, the faintest whisper of a deep breath pluming in the cold just outside their door.